Welcome, my friends. I'm so excited and grateful that you've joined me for this very special webinar on infusing your day with gratitude. My name is Julie Boye, and I'm going to be taking you through ways how you can be grateful throughout your entire day. Now, before we get started, if it's okay with you, I'd love to share a little bit about my story of how I became someone who practices gratitude as much as I do on a daily basis. Is that okay? Okay, so this is my husband and I. This was back in 2012. I have a daughter. She's 10. She was born in 2010. I'm so incredibly grateful to have a daughter. I suffer from something called endometriosis, which often means that you can't have any children naturally. But I was very, very blessed to have a daughter, and she's, like I said, she's now 10. And back in 2012, I got pregnant for the second time. And I actually found out just before I left for this trip that my husband and that I had won actually a trip to Punta Cana, and found that I was pregnant, just basically a couple days before we left. So I didn't actually feel very good for a lot of this trip. It was meant to be like our second honeymoon, but I ended up, not feeling well. We were so excited though. We'd always wanted to have a second child. And everything was going well. I passed 12 weeks gestation, which is usually the point where you're worried that things aren't going to work out. But suddenly and very traumatically, at 15 weeks gestation, I lost the baby. And it was truly a traumatic experience. I ended up having the baby at home. I had to call emergency services. I went to the hospital, basically got to the hospital, had surgery a couple hours later, and was discharged within 4 hours of my arrival at the hospital without any word of counseling or anything like that. And I know you're going to find this hard to believe, but somehow, some way, I was able to write in my gratitude that journal that night. Now, I had started a gratitude practice over a year and a half before. I heard a gentleman called Sean Aker speak at a live event. He's the author of The Happiness Advantage. And he talked about creating a gratitude practice, which I'll explain to you when we talk about how to practice gratitude daily for gratitude journaling. And I had started it then. And it had become such a habit to me that even on what was then the worst day of my life, I still found a way to write in my gratitude journal. Now, what I ended up doing out of that experience was that I ended up writing my book, 30 Days of Gratitude, because I said to myself, if I can find gratitude on what was then the worst day of my life, I need to share these practices with other people. And I thought it's so funny. I think back now to that. It was 8 years ago. And I think back to that time. And I really was like, oh, yeah, my gratitude practice, it's good. Like I'm good. And I had no idea that was actually going to be the beginning of my gratitude journey. So fast forward a couple of years later, I get pregnant again, and totally unexpected. We just made a miscalculation with some timing, and I was pregnant. And we were very cautious this time. We were like, let's just see what happens. We'd love to grow our family. This is me at a Christmas party, in that just a few days before the unthinkable happened again. And I just wanted to share this with my daughter. So at the time I guess she was 3.5, and so precious, so little. And this is her letter to Santa Claus. I'm going to read it to you because it's written in French. It says, Dear Santa, for Christmas, I want a dragon. This is a stuffed dragon, not a real one, a sister, and all the presents. Now, she didn't know that I was pregnant. And I remember reading this letter and I was like, yes, I want to give you a sister so much. Anyways, as you can imagine, knowing that I only have one child, this pregnancy also ended in a miscarriage right before I got to 12 weeks. And when I was at the hospital again, they said, you can just go and have the miscarriage at home, like finish it at home, or we can do the same surgery you had 2 years ago. And I said, well, I would like the surgery because I had I'd had the experience of having a miscarriage at home, and I was like, I don't want to go through that again. So I said, yes, that's fine. I'll take the surgery. And that's where things kind of got completely out of control. So I ended up getting really, really sick. Um, I ended up going to the hospital 2 times. The second time they finally admitted me. And believe it or not, my friends, when I went to the hospital, I actually brought my gratitude journal with me. It came with me to the hospital. So I ended up getting they it took them a couple of days to culture and realize what I had, and I had something called invasive group A strep. And this causes either sepsis, which is blood poisoning, or flesh eating disease. And I got the blood poisoning one. So I was very, very sick. And so this is a text message that I sent to my friend who's an ER physician, not at the hospital that I was at, but in the same area, one of my closest friends. And, I was texting him to get some idea of what was going on. And I did indeed have to be intubated. So that's when you're no longer able to breathe on your own. You need help, to be able to breathe. And this is where there's a little bit of humor in this situation. I know it doesn't sound like it, but my husband and daughter were at the doctor's office while I was being intubated because they had to get antibiotics because they'd been around me, and it's just passed by like bodily fluids, so kissing them or whatever. So they had to get prophylactic antibiotics. So my friend, the ER doctor, was at the hospital with me. And I wrote him a letter. I wrote him a to-do list. Dan is my husband. This is the to-do list I gave my husband as I'm going to be intubated and put into a medically induced coma. I know, totally crazy. And just so you know, I just want to point out that nowhere on this does it say that I love you. Like, thank you, you're my husband, right? And I said, spoil our daughter. That's it. So some of the things when you're really sick, you're not even thinking about telling your husband that you love him. So I ended up being in a medically induced coma for a week. And when I woke up, for me, that's really when I truly finally understood what it means to wake up with gratitude. When you've been in that state for a week, your muscle mass and your body just like does not work the same way. I remember that I would try and drink a glass of water. They would just have like these styrofoam cups with straws, and if the little table that went over my hospital bed was too far away, I couldn't even lift my body to get to the straw to drink the water. And I was so dehydrated. I just wanted to drink so much water. And I just remember being so grateful for just the littlest things that we take for granted every single day. I couldn't even write in my journal because I couldn't hold the pen. I didn't see colors properly for like a number of days after, but I was determined to get out of the hospital as quickly as I could because I knew that it was only a few weeks before Christmas. So I woke up on the Monday, and by the Thursday, I had made it home from the hospital because I was so determined that I needed to be with my daughter. This is her. She came to see me. I spent one night out of the ICU, and she came to see me then. So today, fast forward to today, gratitude is a part of my life every single day. It's something that I absolutely just do my best to practice as much as I can. But not only that, I really have this goal and this vision to share gratitude around the world. And my family and I, we're thriving now. We moved across the country. We live on Vancouver Island, one of the most beautiful places in Canada. We're a family of 3. We're so happy. My daughter has found her passion in horseback riding. And I love to serve through my book, through my podcast, and through all the ways that I am of service. So today, I want to say thank you first for listening to my story and being open for me to share with you where my passion to wake up with gratitude comes from. So now we're going to switch it, and we're going to talk about you and the ways that you are practicing gratitude, or maybe the things that you can start in your own life to practice gratitude. So grab a notebook if you have, or maybe put a note in your phone, because I'm going to give you a ton of ideas. And then I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you if there's a way that you're practicing gratitude at a different time of day and I haven't included it. I definitely want to hear from you because I love new ideas. So it is a choice, right? We have the choice every day to choose to wake up with gratitude. What that means is just waking up in itself is a gift, right? Every morning, there are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people around the world that just don't wake up. And you woke up today. So just starting there at the beginning of the day is really something that for me is critical. So if you listen to this whole webinar and you're completely overwhelmed with all these ideas that I've shared with you, I want you to come back to this. I want you to come back to this slide right here, which says choose to wake up with gratitude. And if that's all you do, and make that decision to say thank you every single morning that you woke up and that you're still here and you're breathing. As one of my friends says, I'm on the right side of the grass, right? That in itself is going to make a difference. And it's funny, I just thought of another morning gratitude practice that I didn't include on this list. See, there's so many things you can do. Okay. So these are some of mine and others that I've heard and learned from different people that I've interviewed through my podcast or connected through the gratitude community. So I start my day with a morning mantra, and I've put it there for you. Thank you for this gift of another day and the opportunity to be of service to others and to make a difference in this world. And for me, a morning mantra really grounds me and reminds me of A, that I'm here, and B, that I'm here to be of service to others and I want to make a difference in the world. And guess what? All of you that are listening right now, you also can make a difference in the world because you're uniquely you. There's only one of you. And what you have to share and the gifts that you have will make a difference in the world. So know that you make a difference just being you. Okay, a body scan. So just raise your hand if when I say something, can you do me a favor? Those who are watching live, when I say one of these practices, just raise your hand in the chat if you have done this before or tried it. So just raise your hand if you've used a morning mantra before, or maybe are using it right now. Okay, awesome. Okay, I'm lowering everybody's hands now. So number 2 is a body scan. So let me explain what a body scan is. There's a number of different ways you can do it. So one way you can do a body scan is you can take a look at basically from head to toe and scan each part of your body and give gratitude for it. So you can start maybe at your feet. So thank you. You're just lying in bed. You don't even have to say this out loud. You can do it in your head. Thank you for my feet that allow me to plant myself on the ground and walk. Thank you for my toes that wiggle and help me balance. Thank you for my knees that make it easier for me to go up and down the stairs and bend down and get the things that I need. Thank you for my stomach that helps break down food and my digestion be better. Yes, my other passion is digestion. So I had to put that one in there. Thank you for my heart that kept beating all night long without me even trying. So that's one way that we can do a body scan. Another way that you can do a body scan or a body gratitude is pick one part of your body only. So maybe you're going to just think about, let's say you decided you want to choose your heart this morning. So you put your hands over your heart and you just think about all the ways you're grateful for your heart. Grateful that you keep beating without me doing anything. Grateful that you're pumping blood around my body and delivering nutrients to all my cells. Grateful that you have an endless capacity for love. Grateful that you are an organ that is just beautifully full of energy and keeps me up and alive throughout this beautiful day. So once again, if you're watching live, raise your hand in the chat if you've ever done any of these body scans before, anything like this before. All right, just a few of you this time. Oh, I love it when we're trying. This is great because then I know what's new for those that are listening or watching. Okay, so another morning practice, and there's a lot here. So remember what I said. You're not here to do all of them starting tomorrow because that would set you up for failure. What you're going to do is after I go through the morning ones, you're going to say, you know what? I really liked that idea of the alarm name change. And you're going to do that one action, right? And the reason you're writing things down is that, in a month from now or 2 or 3 weeks from now, when you really got the one down pat, you can now add and layer on a gratitude practice. What's interesting is my morning gratitude practice has changed. It doesn't stay the same all the time, with the exception of the mantra. There are so many things in my morning gratitude practice that changes, and even from day to day, it's not exactly the same, with the exception of the mantra. For me, that's something that I just remind myself to say when I first wake up in the morning. Okay, so let's talk about a thank you card or a note. So if you've ever received a thank you card, it says like thank you or thanks on the front of it, or you can just buy one and write yourself a thank you note. Yeah, Shalane, you're so good with notes. So what you can do with the thank you card is you put it on your bedside table, and it serves as a physical reminder to say thank you when you wake up. Another trick that I learned from a great book called Thank and Grow Rich by Pam Grout. So that's Thank and Grow Rich by Pam Grout. It's like 30 days of experiments to help to enrich your life with gratitude. She said, just put a sticky note. I mean, who doesn't have a pile of sticky notes? I have so many of these. And you put that on the wall, wherever you're going to turn to face when you get up in the morning. And you just write like, I am grateful, or today is going to be today is an amazing day to be alive, or thank you for this day. So you just put a little sticky note on the wall to remind yourself of the day. So if you've done any of these before, just raise your hand in the chat. So I'll let you, so every time I share a new one, I'll let you raise your hand, and then I can lower it for you. I love this interaction. Thank you. Okay, so what about this? Have you ever changed the alarm on your phone before? Did you know you could do that? So you can set all kinds of reminders and alarms in your phone. And of course, many of us today use our phone as our alarm clock. I will advise one thing that I think can really help with better quality of sleep is to put your phone on airplane mode before you go to sleep. So you put your phone on airplane mode, your alarm will still go off. Don't worry about that. And you change the name of your alarm, and you can change the sound. So it's really cool if you have, I don't know if you can do it with other things, but I do it through Spotify. So I have a morning gratitude, like meditation music that comes on, and my alarm is wake up with gratitude. And then when I was doing a 30 days of gratitude challenge, I had an alarm every morning after I woke up to remind me to do the 30 days of gratitude challenge. I think Shalane here, she just finished up her 30 days of gratitude challenge. So changing the name of your alarm. I wanted to mention prayer. Prayer it's more than a religious practice. And I think it's important to mention it because some people are afraid to use prayer because they may not have a religious connection in their life. If you pray and it's connected to your religion, that's amazing. It's a really amazing way to connect with God and a higher spirit first thing in the day. But prayer truly is about giving thanks for what we already have. And when you get down to it, when we're praying and we look at what prayer is, it's starting back from giving thanks first. There's a lot of really beautiful texts again in the Christian Bible, but about Jesus giving thanks first before performing miracles and things like that. So doesn't have to be a religious thing. It can be a thankful thing. And a prayer can also be a beautiful way of sending love to others. So another way, I'll get back to meditation, but another way that can be part of a prayer type practice is sending love to others. So connecting with other people, either through the energetic realm or sending what we call love texts. So you text 5 people in your life and just let them know that you care about them and let them know that you're thinking about them. I love how Maria shares. She starts her day with prayers and surrounding others in love. Yeah. I think prayer sometimes gets forgotten because we just are concerned that it has to be connected to religion. It can be, but it can also be just connected with you connecting and being quiet and still. And it's also a way of meditation as well, right? It can be connected back to meditation. So when we think about meditation, there are so many beautiful ways to start our morning gratitude practice with meditation. I know that if you've ever signed up for my newsletter, I have a free gratitude meditation download so that you can have it downloaded to your phone so that it's not connected to the Wi-Fi. So you don't have to turn it on. A lot of apps now allow you to download some of their meditations to listen to without turning your phone back on. So again, there were like 2 years where I listened to a gratitude meditation every single morning. And now I don't, right? It changes the way that we show up in the morning, and that's okay, and it's fluid. And the last thing, which is a newer practice for me that I've been doing for a couple of years, is sharing gratitude with a friend. So, here's a little thing about me. My digestion is tip top. So first thing in the morning, within about 5 minutes of waking up, I need to use the washroom. So instead of scrolling through my phone during that time, I write what I'm grateful for. And that's how I start my day. And I write this list of gratitude and then I send it to a friend. And then this friend also sends me her list of gratitude every single day. But I want to tell you a little trick that we started doing, which is we started being grateful, not just for the stuff that's really working, but for the stuff that isn't working as well. So we literally speak to each other in gratitude for everything. It is an incredibly powerful practice. We've been doing it for almost 2 years now. But having a gratitude partner like this, where you just share, and the rule is we don't comment on each other's gratitude unless like we ask, we say, oh, like, can I check in with you on this? We don't comment or judge or anything. We just send them back and forth. Some weeks we don't even speak to each other, and we've messaged each other every single day, our gratitude practice. So for example, one thing I would say in my gratitude to my friend in the morning would be, today, for example, I would say, I am truly grateful that the insurance agent made a mistake with our dates and started the insurance in our new home, and we haven't even moved yet. I am truly grateful that I spent an hour on the phone with an insurance agent this morning sorting that all out, right? But it's so funny because as soon as I message that to my friend, like my mindset shifts around that. So I'm curious if you can type in the chat, if you're somewhere you can type, let me know which one of these gratitude practices would you like to add to your daily practice? I'm just going to pause for 1 second. Go. Okay, so let's see what people shared. The thank you card sounds nice. Great. Morning mantra. Thank you note to myself. Meditation. Awesome. Okay, so now that's our morning practice. Let's move to practices throughout the day. This is one of my favorite ways to practice gratitude throughout the day. It's definitely being out in nature. And, for me, that's probably the most important daily gratitude practice is to get out in nature. For those that know me, I love to watch the sunrise. And, today I woke up, sunrise is really early this time of year. And I woke up, it was 5 to 5 in the morning. I just woke up and I thought, well, I think I'll just go to the beach anyway. I knew it was overcast. It didn't really matter. I just needed that. I wanted to just go. And that's part of my self-care daily gratitude practice. So what we can do on a daily basis, I wrote down while showering because one of my podcast guests said that often when she's showering, she thinks about all the things she's grateful for in the shower. Not like in the shower, but like things that she's grateful for while she's in the shower. So it's a great way. I mean, we're showering on a regular basis, one would hope. So it's a super way to just practice getting into that mindset of gratitude. But I mean, why not just even be grateful for hot water? Right? Fresh, clean water that comes out of our taps. It's something that's so easy to take for granted until you don't have it, right? Have you ever not had water? Right? It's like really frustrating when they turn off the water because they're doing construction. So I've had that. So it's that reminder of water. When walking up and down the stairs or just even walking down the hall, I like to say thank you with every step up and down the stairs. Thank you. Thank you. That's a Dr. Wayne Dyer thing, is that up and down the stairs. I mentioned that how important being out in nature is to gratitude. It's also a reminder of abundance. Just seeing, especially we're in the spring right now, and here in Canada, and just seeing how many flowers are growing, the trees are blossoming, all of these incredible things. It's so, so wonderful. And then I'm going to teach you a little thing that you can do when you feel like you have stress in your life. So here's what I do. It's super simple. So the first thing is to stop. So don't respond to the text, don't respond to the email, don't freak out at your partner or your child. If you can, step outside. So open a door and step outside your home, your workplace, wherever you are. 3 deep breaths, because that will switch your body from your sympathetic, which is fight or flight, to your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the relax side of you. And then you say out loud 3 things you're grateful for in just that moment. And it might just be that you're breathing. So that's one of my favorite ways when you feel like you can't handle it. You're just so frustrated. That's my favorite little gratitude practice. Grounding is a practice where I'm curious, who's done grounding before? You can raise your hand in the chat for me. Grounding is a practice where it's best done outside if you can, but you can do it in the house. If you can take off your shoes and socks and put your feet into the ground and really feel the earth beneath your feet. And my favorite thing to do is just to repeat my mantra that, the same one I do in the morning, and just remind myself that we're connected to the earth. Right. And sometimes I'll do a bit of a gratitude visualization, that's all with my meditation. I won't get into it now, but just, this connection to the earth, like connected through light and gratitude through the earth as well. EFT or tapping is a great way to practice gratitude. It starts with a karate chop point on your hand, and then you're tapping different points around your body to move the energy. So this again is something else you can just easily Google and do it. But I love it. It works so well to move energy, and you can use words of gratitude as you're doing your tapping. Okay, what about a room scan? So you can do this with me right now. So just look around the room where you are and just look at everything and just give thanks, right? Thank you for my camera that allows me to be on camera with you. Thank you for my microphone. Thank you for my big bottle of water. Ooh, thank you for this candle that I like to light when I need to focus. Oh, thank you for this photo of my daughter and I, right? Just looking around the room and thinking of just saying thank you for what's already in front of you. Louise Hay talks a lot about that. It's just like simple thank you for like your appliances, right? When was the last time you thanked your coffee maker or your blender? I use my blender every day. Definitely deserves some thanks. I think I used it twice already today. Okay, and then Rohan had said he liked the idea of the thank you card by the bedside. If you're not having a good day, a super way to turn that around is to send someone else a gratitude card. Just send someone else a card just to say thank you. A great thing when you send a gratitude card and you write them a letter is being as specific as possible as to why you're grateful for them. So maybe a specific incident. So, you say to a friend, I was so grateful that time when, you showed up for me when my car had broken down and no one answered their phone and you were there for me and you took me home after the tow truck came. So just things like that. It's interesting. One of my first clients when I started my gratitude shop, she asked me for a set of custom gratitude cards. She'd lost her partner about a year before, and she had wanted to send thank you to the people that had supported her during that time. So she ordered a set of 100 cards with a custom message in it so she could write a gratitude card to all those people that had been there for her. I thought that was pretty amazing. And then write a letter. Same thing. You can extend that practice. I love this book. I'm going to show it to you because this woman, Nancy Davis Coe, is going to be on my podcast very soon. The Thank You Project. So incredible. I am going to start this project after I move. So this summer. Okay. So now that I've shared all these ways to practice gratitude throughout your day, I'd love to hear from those that are watching live in the chat. Let me know which one of these that you are thinking about incorporating in your day. Oh, you already do the room scan. That's great, Shalane. So simple. So much to be grateful for that we just don't even pay attention to, right? Oh, you want to? Okay. Awesome. And this is why we're taking notes, because it'll just be a reminder of, the what we want to do after we leave the webinar. And now, how do we end our day? So we end our day by giving thanks for the day that has gone by. And I call these some closing gratitude practices. So these are ways that we can now end our day with gratitude. Now, of course, many of these can be used at different times of day as well, but I'm just sort of grouping them with you to now end your day with gratitude. So one of my podcast guests shared with me that she does an evening alarm that reminds her at 9 o'clock every night to just say 3 things she's grateful for out loud. Doesn't matter where she is, who she's with, her alarm will go off and she will do that. She will say that reminder out loud. So using the same as your morning alarm, just an evening alarm at the end of the day. Maria shares that she's added EFT to her gratitude in the morning and evenings before bed. Oh, so amazing. And Alberta says, I'm already doing out in nature and want to work on the 3 steps when stressed. Amazing. Super. That is one of my favorite tricks, is that stress, that for me is really one of my favorite things to do. I'll get back to gratitude journaling. How about a meditative cup of tea, right? Just make your tea, while it's steeping, just inhale the scent of the tea, holding the warm mug, sipping it quietly, maybe not having your phone around, and just 15 minutes of silence with your cup of tea. Just thinking about what you're grateful for the day. We can do the body scan in the evening as well. We can also do the mantra, like I mentioned, the same thing. I actually, after I've turned out the lights, I do lie in bed and say my mantra again. Just the way that I like to end of the day, say thank you again. Love text. So these I mentioned in the morning, you can also end your day with it. Send 5 love texts to people. Again, just letting them know that you're grateful for them, or you're thinking of them, or that you love them. I was doing love texts all the time, and then I got out of the habit again. So, I'll start doing it again. People are so surprised when you just say thank you, right? This is what's so cool is there's a science behind the fact that when you express your gratitude for someone else, you benefit, right? You get the benefit. Never mind what happens on the other side of that text or that letter or whatever it is. You personally will benefit just from sharing your gratitude for another person. Affirmations. I love affirmations. I totally love just saying and reminding myself of things that I know that I am inside me and that really inspire me to feed my mind with really positive thoughts before I go to sleep. So after I do my gratitude journal, I read my affirmations out loud. Now I did do them in the mirror for a long time, but now I just do them from my bed because I stopped doing affirmations because I didn't want to get up and go stand in front of the mirror because I was already in bed. So I was like, well, we'll just take the mirror out and I'll go back and just do the affirmations. And I just feel really good. And it definitely makes a difference. Mirror work is where you stand in front of a mirror. You can say your affirmations, or I learned this really cool strategy it's actually morning mirror work that I learned from Lisa. Why is her name escaped me? The beautiful Lisa from The Secret. And she's spoken at a couple events that I've been at lately. And she suggested doing, so you say, Julie, I'm proud of you that, and you do 7 things. Like you say your own name. Julie, I forgive you that. And Julie, I'm so excited that. and you say like 7 things in the morning to start your day. And I did that for probably about a month and a half. So that, these are all things that I've done and or learned from other people. I don't do them all. It changes all the time, but the point is that you're closing your day with gratitude. So I'm going to talk a little bit about gratitude journaling, but I want to mention I'm actually doing another free workshop with the Gratitude and Appreciation Summit. It's next week. Don't think actually, the time might work for the Philippines because it's first thing in the morning. It's at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Saturday, June 5th. So that might be like late in the evening, Rohan. I don't know. It might actually be midnight, I think, your time. So maybe a little bit too late. But anyways, I'm doing an hour-long workshop just on gratitude journaling. But I will say that for me, this has been the one most consistent practice for the past 10 years. And what I do for my gratitude practice is I write 3 things that I'm grateful for specifically to that day. So the day that just has gone by, 3 specific things or more that I am grateful for. And I start with, I am truly grateful that. And every day it's something different. And what I love is that I've been packing because we're moving, and I'm looking through my old gratitude journals. And what I love is that even when going through the most difficult times, I could see that there was something to be grateful for. And so for me, a gratitude journal is more than just a journal of your life. It's like finding the good in every single day. And when you're looking for more things to be grateful for, guess what? You find more things to be grateful for. Sounds super obvious, but it works. It really works. So when we look at all these closing gratitude practices, I again invite those that are watching live, write down, maybe tell me what you're already doing for your evening practice or something that you'd like to try. So Rohan shares, we do meditation as a family at the end of the day, and it's made everything better in the past year and a half. We've been doing it. Oh my gosh, Rohan, that's absolutely beautiful. So beautiful. Quiet time together, that connection. What a fantastic idea. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So I want to mention this as we wrap things up. And Shalane says she writes in a gratitude journal. Yeah, so good. Oh, such a great habit to have. For me, I've been in business now for over 15 years, and I started my business in nutrition and wellness. And I realized after having some conversations recently with a couple of people that gratitude is the spark that opens the door to wellness. A big thing that we don't realize when we're struggling with our health or our well-being or our lifestyle is that one of the easiest things to start doing to make that shift is to start a gratitude practice. It's generally free. It often doesn't take more than a few minutes. And over time, it makes it easier to make different and better choices because you feel better about yourself. That's it. So to me, gratitude is that spark that opens the door to wellness, to complete and total holistic well-being. Friends, I really am so grateful that you've joined me live today, and that my hope is that you've written down and highlighted a few things that you are going to take into your life and start practicing maybe even today or this evening, and apply it to your life and then share it with other people. That's the biggest mission that I have here, is not only it's just about my practices. I want to inspire you to continue and grow your own practice of gratitude. And then at the same time, like Rohan's been doing with his family, inspire more people to have that gratitude habit. Oh, Maria, I love that you've shared. Being grateful throughout the day. I started with writing in my journal and giving thanks for everything in my life, noticing the colors in different shades. Oh, that's a great idea. I never thought about that. Considering I mentioned at the beginning that I couldn't see colors properly after I got out of my coma. Wow, a wonderful idea. So For those that want to connect with me, the easiest way to do so is through email. That's my email right there, juliecmvoyer@gmail.com. Depending on when you're watching this, you can register for the gratitude journaling workshop that I'm doing. It's on Saturday, June 5th. So it's a week from today for the live people that are watching. And like I said, depending on when you're seeing the recording, you may or may not be able to join us. And I'm going to do an in-depth study of how to really get gratitude journaling to become a habit and to help to really manifest what you've been your heart's desire through gratitude journaling. So thank you everyone for watching this webinar live. It's been such a joy to get to know you all, and I just hope that this was very helpful.